Good morning, everybody. Well, we're back. I think we're going to have a full team here this morning. Stu Stewart will be in shortly. We've got Nancy Stewart, my co-host. We got Rick Kearney, our certified diagnostic master technician, and we're ready to go. Welcome, welcome to the new folks. We have a good base of regular listeners, and God bless all of you. You make the show, and we're bringing in new people every day. And speak of the devil, here's Stu walking in right now. We are unique. I hate to say good things about what we do because then I'm bragging. And who was that said it's not bragging if it's true, or somebody said like that. It was a long time ago. But we really do something that I don't know of anyone else doing, which is a live, I say radio show, but it's really a live streaming show. It's also a Zoom show, so you might as well say we're television by a different name. So we stream, we audio all over the world, and we've been doing this for 20 years. And we focus on one thing, making your life livable when it comes to buying or leasing a car. Also repairing or maintaining that car. And the more the maintaining and repairing the car is becoming more difficult because the cars are becoming more complex, and that's why we have Rick Kearney here. He's been doing what he's been doing for over a quarter of a century, and that's a long time. And there's nothing about a car that he doesn't know or can't find out with a quick check on ChatGPT or Google. And we have the answers for you if you have issues with your car. Today, whether you're having your car repaired in a body shop, I hope that doesn't happen, or you're having your car repaired in a mechanical service department, it's a lot more difficult. These are computers on wheels, especially with autonomy coming on and electric vehicles, brand new technology coming on, and it's becoming complex to drive your own car. So a lot of you folks, especially you YouTube followers, you can call in, you can post on YouTube, ask for Rick, you can get a free diagnosis. The numbers that we have, you'll hear them many times because we're on the air for 2 hours, and we encourage you to call in to 877-960-9960. That's 877-960-9960. Now, Nancy Stewart, I'm looking at her on the other side of this table here in the studio, and she has a laptop computer right in front of her, and we have Jeremy in the control booth who will flip the calls directly to her laptop, and we prioritize phone calls. We love to hear your voice. There's something about a soul of a person in a conversation, audio conversation, and you can't beat it. I know Facebook and I know streaming and all that kind of stuff and television and Zoom, but there's something about the human voice, and we talk, we laugh. It's really what we prioritize. So 877-960-9960. When the calls come in, Nancy waves at me or throws a paperclip at me or something, I stop talking, or Rick stops talking, or Stu stops talking, and we go right to the telephones. 877-960-9960. But wait, there's more. We have an anonymous feedback, and I love that channel. We don't talk about it often enough. We're starting to get a few more people that are using anonymous feedback. That's a link, and it's youranonymousfeedback.com. youranonymousfeedback.com, just like it sounds, anonymousfeedback.com. You go to that link and you can say anything you want. So we've got some anonymous feedbacks that came in this morning, which we suspect are from the enemy. And I say that tongue-in-cheek. I'm talking about car salespeople, car dealers, managers, who don't want to be identified, but they would like to communicate. So you don't have to use it for that reason. You can use it because you like it. Youranonymousfeedback.com. So we have a text line too, 772-497-6530. That's 772-497-6530. The nice thing about that is as the show goes on, 2 hours Sounds like a long time, but it goes by in a heartbeat. It seems like every Saturday morning. But toward the end of the show, we try to get all of the texts that come in. So we have some texters out there that are just. Anne Marie comes to mind. She texts us every week.
She's got a good one this morning.
Texts are genius, and I gotta congratulate the YouTubers. That's youtube.com/Earl on Cars. YouTube.com/Earl on Cars. And Rick Kearney monitors the YouTube channel, and we have got the YouTube can have their own radio show. In fact, they could split off. Donovan could lead the revolt, and they could go into competition with us. If they find a radio station, we're in trouble because they know their stuff. And there's not a week goes by where an amazing contribution comes through, often from Donovan or from other YouTubers, and correcting us because we make mistakes. I mean, you know, we shoot from the hip here. I'll admit that. We try to be very careful when we do the mystery shopping reports. We try not to give any misinformation there because if we do, we're going to get sued. And I don't want to get sued. Nobody likes to get sued. And for 20 years, we've been telling the truth about our mystery shopping reports, and we haven't been sued. I'll knock on wood because maybe we get sued this week. I don't know. We have a great mystery shopping report, by the way, and we will read that in the last half or the last 20 minutes of the show, last half hour of the show. I've been yakking too much. I'm going to turn the mic over to Nancy. Oh, Rick's got a comment.
Yeah, Donovan says, that's not going to happen, Earl.
Not going into competition with us. Okay, well, that's good. I feel better. Nancy, the mic is all yours, and I know you got a real special offer that is almost unbelievable to our female listeners.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Boy, do we have an exciting show this morning. First I want to mention, as far as what Earl mentioned when we opened the show, and, how expensive it's becoming to service your car, and hence, the popularity of service drive financing. Yeah, have you heard of it? Well, it may just be for you if you go into that service department and you're sitting there and you find out that, well, the service that your vehicle needs is just a little more than you bargained for. So you can take advantage of this popular service drive financing. So look into that. You just need to, line up your bank, your lender, get 3 bids, a little bit of homework, but in the end, it's definitely worth it. So take advantage of that. Also, we have, a promotion. We have it every Saturday morning, and it is for the ladies. And we certainly appreciate all of the ladies that call and how they've helped me build the platform here at Earl on Cars. I know we don't spend a whole lot of time talking about how important you are, but I think by now everybody knows. So this morning, $50 for the first 2 new lady callers. Yes, indeed. And also, if one of those lady callers, if you have a Zoom account and you can give us a call this morning, we'll give you $100. So that would be $150 on a Saturday morning. Isn't that, a sweet deal?
That's a great
Yes,
Saturday morning.
Yes.
It sure is.
So let me give out some more information here, and that is the meeting ID that the Zoomers can call, and that's 926-589-0586. For you new Zoomer calls this morning, each one of you, the first 2, can win yourself $100. So there you are. We set up the show. You've got almost 2 hours to take advantage of those deals and be part of the show. 877-960-9960, or you can text us at 772-497-6530. Don't forget your anonymousfeedback.com. I think, Rick, were you looking to mention something? I saw you making eye contact with me.
I notice in the Zoom list right now, we've got Adam Salmon is waiting on us for Zoom.
Is that right? Wow. That's exciting. I think that we should take advantage of that and take a look. And do we have them, Jonathan? Can we open with the Zoom caller?
Hi, Earl on cars.
I see a picture on the screen. Oh,
Hello from Earl on Cars. I hear a voice.
Good morning and welcome.
I'm not looking at any screens right now.
You just won yourself $100 this morning. Welcome. You're our first new Zoom caller.
Where's he at?
Earl's got the screen for
yeah,
Zoom.
I'm looking at Rick right now. I know you're not the Zoom caller.
I'm looking at Rick. And Stu, you're looking.
I'm just looking at Anne-Marie's text I'm going to read when when I get the chance.
Hey, that must be a doozy.
I think we have a glitch in the Zoom
And she
system.
always has a good one.
And we have a picture now, Zoom meeting ID, and I see a picture of a couple of guys.
Oh, he's got to turn his video on. There's a button on his computer. You got to click Start Video.
Oh, it says ask to unmute, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's
Okay.
muted. Yeah.
He's unmuted. He has to turn his video.
Oh, turn your video on.
Okay.
No, this sounds like every meeting at the dealership. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
so we have technical problems on
I've got
both
it down
sides
at
of
the
the Zoom.
dealership.
Our side and the Zoomer. So this is the Zoomer side.
Oh
Well,
boy, look
And
at.
we appreciate all you folks out there that are putting up with us, but
All
if
right.
you're gonna be on the cutting edge, that's me.
I see a half-naked man.
Is that Earl? Oh, that's your
Again.
that's your screensaver on your phone.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this? Let's get to something while that's working out, and then if he pops in, we can just stop what we're doing
Yeah.
and get to the Zoomer.
Makes sense.
All right. Let's start Anne-Marie's text that I wanted to get to it. She says, good morning. Toyota.com lists the base MSRP on a 2024 Corolla to be $22,050. Sounds about right. Edmunds.com lists the MSRP on the 2024 Sequoia TRD Pro to be $80,960. Sounds pretty close to me, too. As far as Anne-Marie can determine, these seem to be the lowest and highest MSRPs for 2024 Toyotas. Okay, that's a fair. Okay, that's close. Yep. So the question is, if you sell 11 of the Corollas, the total is $242,550 in sales, and if you sell 3 TRD Pros, assuming availability, the total is $242,880. Pretty close to each other. So please give me the dealer's viewpoint. Which is better, the extra $300 from selling 3 Sequoia TRD Pros, or the fact that 11 Corollas were sold? Well, I can real quick. I'd rather sell 11 Corollas, but it's not because the Corolla we would make more money. So yeah, if we sold 11 Corollas for $242,000 in sales, that's not what we keep. That's our sales, but we had to pay for those Corollas. But let's say on average, $2,000 per Corolla is the profit we would make. So 11 of those is $22,000 in profit. And say there's $4,000 in profit on the TRD Pros, and they sell 11. That's $4,400. Wait, is that right? No, 4,000, 44,000. Oh, I'm sorry, I got it right. I'd rather sell the TRD Pros. I did the math wrong. It's all about the gross profit, Anne-Marie. So, but more expensive vehicles have a bigger markup from our cost to what they're sold for.
And of course, we would rather sell more vehicles
Than fewer.
When a dealer sells a car, he hopes to have that car back on his used car lot one day. He also hopes to have that car in his service department for maintenance and repair. And we don't like him to come into the body shop, but if you do have an accident, we like to repair them. So the more vehicles we put on the road, so like Stu said, I'd rather put 10 Corollas on the road than 2 Sequoias, because those 10 Corollas will be coming in for service, for body repair, maintenance, and
Referrals.
they will also be talking to their friends and family and sending us more business. So volume is important. It isn't all about the big profit you make on one vehicle. It's, as a matter of fact, a lot of these vehicles, like the Supra and even the Sequoia, to some extent, are image vehicles. And they bring people in who think they want to buy a Sequoia, they think they want to buy a Supra, but they end up buying a Corolla or a Camry or a more practical vehicle. So another great question. You should be a Toyota dealer.
She should be.
You're on top of things.
She's got another question too.
Oh.
Second question: does Toyota reward a dealership with more money for selling more vehicles? summarized that. Yes, indeed, those are incentives. Most of, I got to go to, well, I had to cancel it because of my foot, but I got to go to Greece this year for selling a lot of Camrys. They give, it's incentives. There's incentives that customers see, and then there's incentives that go right to the dealership. Toyota piles it on.
But you have to be careful when we answer that question, because a car dealer, whether you sell 10 cars a month or 1,000 cars a month, you pay the same price for the car. And so that a lot of dealers out there, they advertise because of our huge volume, we buy the cars from Honda, Ford, Toyota for less money. All car dealers pay the same price, whether they sell 20 cars a month or 2,000 cars a month. So, but of course, there are advantages to selling more cars. So,
Yes, definitely. And Anne Marie, great questions this morning. I want to let you know that, during the 35 years that Earl and I have been taking trips, it is just because of what the guys were talking about this morning. And they were some beautiful trips that we took.
Yeah, they do that, and it's for, like, they have trip programs for everybody in the dealership, from salespeople and sales managers, and Rick goes on trips, and but yeah, they definitely pile it on. It's not, like you said, affects the pricing of the car, but some of the incentives that we've exposed and highlighted on the show, the stair step incentives, is used like that. It effectively gives some dealers advantages based on the incentives per car they get, throughout the month when they hit certain levels. And but we've seen a lot less of that since the whatever we call the inventory crunch, the troubles.
Yeah,
that's what Josh started calling them, the troubles.
Yeah, kind of miss that. Stu, I'm going to interrupt you if you're finished with Anne Marie, and we're going to go back to Zoom, and that was Adam that we were waiting to speak to. Good morning, Adam.
Hello, Adam. I see you live and in color. What's on your mind, Adam? Can you hear me? I see you.
Adam, can you hear me?
I just announced you as the Zoom caller, Adam, the half-naked man.
I think he heard something. Yeah. Do you hear us, Adam? We see you. Hello.
An extra $100 for the shirt off,
There we go. Big smile. All right.
or an extra $100 to put the shirt on.
What's up, Adam?
Go ahead, Adam. We can hear you. We can see you.
You got to admit, this is real live. This is real live Zoom we're doing here, because you can see.
I forgot really bad.
Yeah, let's.
Hold on, let me send it to you on the chat, because
Okay.
I can't.
Adam's back.
I want to type because super. There's a lot of people here. I'm so sorry. That's why.
Yeah, I understand. Well, Adam, thank you very much. It was a valiant attempt. You were partially successful, and I think we can say we did have a Zoom call.
Hey, Adam, one quick question. Where are you in the world?
He's not on. His video was cut.
Okay. Let's move on. That was the. I think I'm going to go up there. I'm not trying. I'm just saying that was one of the strangest moments that we've ever had on Earl and Cars. I'm putting that there at the number one spot, and we should do a highlight. I'll think of some really strange things, and Jonathan, you can remember, but that's number one for me. Okay.
That's what.
Well, I almost think I detected a bit of a British
Oh,
accent.
yeah.
I was wondering if he
That
was
was
in
a
Great
great
Britain.
question.
It might have been in Great Britain. That might explain the lag and the latency.
Could be, yeah.
Jonathan, do you have any idea where that call came from?
I don't.
No? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we still would like to hear from you on our Zoom meeting number, and that number is 926-589-0586. And you can get in touch with us by calling us and speaking to us at 877-960-9960. You can text us also at 772-497-6530. So there's lots of ways to get in touch with us, Rick, or we're going to stay with Stu.
I got a good one. This is from Robbie and Stewart, longtime listener. Robbie says, "Good morning. My twin daughters both attend the University of Florida. Go Gators. Last December, they went into the Tire Kingdom in Gainesville and put 4 new tires on their car. While down here for summer break, they got a nail in a rear tire. That was just a week before they went back. So they told the technician at the Tire Kingdom in Stewart that they got them brand new back in December. Tech at Tire Kingdom here says they were 5-year-old tires and should not have been sold. Should have sold those tires at that age. I've heard 6-year-old tires, you get rid of them no matter what. I called them and they are going to do something. That's great. I just don't know what. I'm calling them back today. Should I even worry about this? They were Continental tires. And P.S., we are one of your customers and know you would never have sold us old tires as new. And that's true. You have to be very conscious. It's not just the wear, it's the age. And, Rick can address technically, but you're right. And it's a good thing that, by the way, that Tire Kingdom is going to do something. It's a mystery what that is, but hopefully it's a refund or a serious discount. What
No,
do you
and
think?
it isn't so bad. 6 years is a rule of thumb. 6 years is an old tire, and that's a rule of thumb. But of course, that means depending on how the tire was driven, how it was stored, if it wasn't sold. And Rick would agree, I think, that you want, if you have a tire that's 4 years old, you want to inspect it carefully because you'd see cracks, you'd see evidence of deterioration, and you want to. But the best way to do it is just don't buy an old tire. That way you don't have to worry about it. And there's a time stamp on the tire, and Rick will tell you what that time stamp is a code. The government cannot do anything simply. So they want you to know how old the tire is, but they put how old the tire is in a secret code that would, it would be kind of like breaking a code. So Rick will break the code so you can tell how old your tire is.
On both sides of the tire, you're going to see what's called a DOT number. But on one side, only on one side, there'll be a little oval shape afterwards with 4 digits in it. And you want to look at the last 2 digits, and that's the year that tire was produced. So if it says 22, it was produced in 2022. If it says 24, it was produced in 24.
Now, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just put date of manufacture,
Right. Best Buy.
2022? Why wouldn't they do that? But
Right. Or Best Buy, freshest by, August 30th, 2027. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's actually true that, the government set this up, but it's a worldwide thing. So these are stamped even on tires that you might buy in Europe, in India,
If you're going to
Australia.
confuse people, you confuse everybody in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
The entire world did this as a standard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the number
So-
on Robbie's girls' tires was 19.
It's like the metric system, which nobody
Yep.
in the United States pays attention to.
That's right. We're working on it.
Yeah, we're working
It's been
on
about 50 years, but we're coming around
Hey,
eventually.
guys, also, there's never, that I know of, a mention of the valves. They're really important
Oh, yeah.
on the tires. And do you know something? They deteriorate quickly. They're made of rubber. And oftentimes they're ignored. So that's something else you need to take a look at. And the guys were talking about how complicated, it is to read the numbers on the tires and the dates and the dee, all of that stuff. I mean, why? Well, that's what they do. They have to complicate everything. So take a look at the valves, see if they, need replaced, and do it when you get your new tires or when you get your tires rotated. It's very important. I'm not, overly cautious or anything, but tires, they get you where you're going safely. That's a lot of
It's
car.
where you meet the road. It's where you meet
Yeah.
the road.
Yep.
You've
the
got
rubber meets
what's
the
called
road.
the contact patch, and that little spot on each of those 4 tires is the only thing that you have for
Attaching you
acceleration,
to the earth.
braking, and everything.
Right. It's holding you down.
And later on in the show, guys, I'm going to share my driving experience with Tesla again, and Earl will also. And of course, electric vehicles, they're coming, and there's more and more people on the road that
And
are
you can't
driving
hear them
them.
coming. And you can't hear them coming. They're just coming.
Good point.
You can hear.
We're going to go to the phones because we do have a lady caller, and she's a regular caller from Tequesta. Her name is Denise. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
Well, thank you very much for taking my call, and I just want to let you know that I absolutely love your show. I just discovered it a couple of weeks ago, and I'm also known as Granny Tesla, so I'm a big
Oh.
Tesla fan.
Rick's buddy.
Granny Tesla's on our Earl Stewart Toyota YouTube channel right now.
Oh,
Good to see you. Or
and
good
I
to hear
do
you.
I have a Tesla question.
Oh, great.
I have a 2021 Tesla Model 3 with 47,000 miles. At 50,000 miles, I'll lose the limited warranty. Though I'll keep the battery and the drive unit warranty for 100,000 miles. Tesla is offering an extended warranty covering the basic vehicle issues for $1,800, 2 years, or $25,000. Does it make sense to purchase it?
You know, that's a good question. My normal knee-jerk response to extended warranties is no. My knee-jerk response to a new technology with a vehicle like Tesla would be yes. And of course, I'm saying that based on you need to know the cost, you need to know what it covers, and you need to know what it does not cover. But because you have a braking technology that is changing daily, because as you know, your Tesla and the Tesla Nancy and I have are updated, every couple of weeks with software updates, and there are little glitches and things that happen in the vehicle. And if you have an issue with a Tesla, an unusual issue with a Tesla, you really should go back to Tesla to have it done and fixed. And they know what they're doing. So with a caveat of the price, look at the price, see what it covers, and see what it does not cover, and then make a decision. But I would say yes, I would seriously consider that. Rick, you have a comment?
Note in from Donovan here. He says, for the caller, don't buy the warranty. He says, I don't. And I know Donovan's had several Teslas. The most important parts are covered under the drive unit warranty until 120K or 150K. And the battery and drive unit warranty is 8 years.
Well, Denise, I defer to Donovan, who is not only probably our top caller, but he also knows more about Teslas than I do, or a lot of people do. So you heard what he says. It would not be a good investment. And if you could still go through the process of looking at the price and what it covers and what it does not cover. But Rick, repeat what Donovan just said there.
He says the drive unit warranty is either 120K or 150K miles, 150,000, and the 8 years is the time span limit.
Okay, there you go. That's why we love the YouTube followers, especially Donovan. So you have your answer, Denise.
Thank you very much, Earl, and thank you to Donovan. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm sure he says you're very welcome, because he's part of the show. He's on the show, and we wouldn't have had as good a show without Donovan.
Well, good. I'll ask more Tesla questions.
Wow, well, that'd be great, Denise. That would be wonderful. Hey, Denise, was it you who sent me the card? Sent it to
Yes.
Earl and I. That was so thoughtful of you. I just want to thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
And I love your business card. Granny
Well,
Tesla.
I'm trying to develop my YouTube channel. I'll do whatever I can to teach more people how to appreciate Teslas.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I'm showing Rick your card right now, and he's going to put it up to the camera.
Granny Tesla.
There you go.
That's so cool.
Our Tesla's named Miss Nancy.
Miss Nancy.
You see it? Can you see it on? Can you see your card on the screen? Anyway, that was very thoughtful of you. Are you enjoying your Tesla?
I love my car. I wanted a Tesla car back when they first came out, and I retired 4 years ago. And when I retired, I didn't have a car payment in my budget. And I remember saying to my brother that I really want a Tesla. And he said to me, So what are you going to do with your money if you don't buy a Tesla? Give it to your nephew, and the first thing that he's going to do is buy the car you always wanted?
Great
So I
story.
went out and bought the Tesla, and I started my YouTube channel to teach older people like me how not to be intimidated when you first get in the car, because
That's great.
it is somewhat
Yeah,
intimidating.
I got to take a look at
is.
that video that you did. I'll tell you, it's quite a learning experience for Earl and I to be on the road, and not only with the Tesla itself. And Earl has a few stories he's going to mention in a little bit, but the people around us. You know, that you really have to be focused on, because they have no idea that Earl and I are driving autonomously.
Yes.
And they're driving a certain way, and the electric vehicle, it drives an altogether different way. It obeys rules that nobody obeyed that driving a combustion car. So it's been quite an experience. Do you have autonomous?
Yes, and I use it to go to the drugstore, Publix. I mean, if I'm 2 miles away, I use autonomous driving for several reasons. I want to experience it, and I have found that the more I drive autonomously, the more I learn how the car drives, which gives me more confidence on letting it drive autonomously. But the other thing is, on the few times I'm not driving autonomously, I'm stopping at stop signs, which my Tesla does, which I never did before. I stay within the speed limit, which my Tesla does, and I never did before. So I've become a better driver because of autonomous driving.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
agree.
and you know, as you drive that, and it is in autonomous, you know, you just accumulate all kind of information that you can share on your YouTube that you're doing. And I think that's fantastic, because there's a lot of people out there that don't have an understanding. They just say, we hate electric vehicles. We don't want to drive an electric vehicle. We don't want to understand an electric vehicle. So you're doing a fabulous thing, and I have your card,
Thank you.
and I'm going to take a look at your video.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love the technology. I'm a technology person, so this is right up my alley.
Oh, what a great story. Denise, thanks for sharing that with us this morning, and please give us a call again.
Thank you so much for all your advice, and thank you, Donovan. Love your show. Take care, everyone. And thank you again for the donation that I used your check for.
Okay,
I
no problem.
noticed
Thank you.
that. Thank you so much for donating to, you know, the
welcome.
greatest charity. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Did she just call you Donovan?
Oh, Donovan gave her the great tip on.
Oh, you know,
I gave her the wrong information,
my-
and Donovan corrected me.
isn't he amazing?
Yes, yeah.
There's a spot right here on this platform in this studio for Donovan. If you're listening, Donovan. Donovan probably has a whole lot to do, though. Okay, guys, 877-960-9960. Give us a call. And ladies, $50 for the first 2 new lady callers. Give us a call, and we'd love to hear from you and hear any of your stories you'd like to share with us. And for the Zoom Club, I'll call it, you can give us a call at the meeting number at 921-589-0586. Did you write that down? I'll be mentioning it several times during the show. We are going to go to John, who is one of our favorite callers from Palm City. Good morning, John.
Hey, John.
Good
Hello?
morning.
He's over on Zoom.
Yes, good morning.
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me?
We
Yes.
do.
Now, yes.
I have some news on Chrysler, which is Stellantis.
Yeah.
Due to low sales in North America, in the first 6 months of this year, their profits fell by half.
Ooh.
And 2,450 workers on October the 8th in the Warren, Michigan plant will be laid off. They're going from 2 shift to 1 shift, and they have a second plant in Sterling Heights, Michigan, and few of them will be transferred only to that plant.
That's an amazing story, isn't it, John?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not good news.
No.
I just hope it doesn't come down to another bailout for Chrysler, which in the past that we had. Incidentally, General Motors is laying off 1,000 workers, and six of them in the Detroit area alone. So we don't have good automotive news, and it's frightening because in the past we bailed out the automobile manufacturers. Now, I'm not much for pickups, but if I were to buy a pickup truck, it would be Chevrolet, Ford, or Toyota only. I can't see a Ram at all. You had a shopping report on one that was $81,000 less, and I don't think that their vehicles are worth that price, in my opinion.
I think your opinion matches Consumer Reports as well. I mean, you're right on. It feels like a failing company.
Well, there's a huge shakeup going, obviously, as you just described, John. It's the landscape for automotive manufacturers will be totally different in 10 years. Some of the big players like Chrysler may not be around. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Chrysler disappear. And I think you're going to see some other manufacturers disappear. There are going to be some new companies you never heard of because instead of building assembling cars, putting steel together, and on an assembly line, we've evolved into a world of software, and it's a whole different landscape. Mazda, who I had the first Mazda franchise in the Southeast United States back in 1970. And it was a weak company then. It came on strong, and then it almost faltered until Ford bought into them. Right now, they're having to put huge incentives on cars to sell them. So be careful what kind of a car you buy. You don't want to buy a car that's not going to be around in 2 years. I mean, you know how a Pontiac or an Oldsmobile buyer felt 2 or 3 years after they stopped making them. And when an entire division or a company goes out, back during the Great Recession, we almost lost General Motors and Ford entirely. So the big recession was a piece of cake compared to what we're going through right now. And you're very, very wise to point this out. I appreciate the call, John.
Well, if it wasn't for Jeep, Chrysler wouldn't be around at all.
Yeah.
Jeep is what does it.
Exactly.
Incidentally, I have a question for Rick. Jeep is advertising very heavily on Jeep vehicles, on cable TV, also on the trucks. Can I ask Rick, how do they allow a 4-door convertible that doesn't have doors on it? Don't some states have a law that you must have 4 doors on your car?
I wouldn't know about the laws on that, as long as the safety crashes are able to pass. But I can tell you that Jeep has done some weird things to get around rules in the past. Same thing that Chrysler has done. So I'm sure they found some loophole to make it legal.
Well, I would never ride in a car without 4 doors on it.
Well, they do actually have a full roll bar built into those. With the soft tops on them, they've got a roll bar built into that thing.
Yeah, here's the deal. In Florida, it's generally legal to drive without doors as long as the vehicle meets certain safety requirements, and that must be some rollover protection, seat belts, of course. Oh, specifically, vehicles must have at least one functioning side mirror that provides a clear view of the road behind the driver.
Yep.
And this is crucial since the doors often house the side mirrors, so you still have to have a mirror that goes out.
So they're still talking mirrors and Florida law, and cameras are what is the name of the game.
Yeah, I bet you they have them, though. I mean, the law probably requires the mirror, but like right now, the truck I'm driving, it's mirrors everywhere. And it's like the Tesla. You stop, you see everything, and it's that's common.
Why? We don't.
We
Look
have
at
8 cameras.
I don't look at the mirrors in my Tesla at all.
You don't look out the windshield. You just
All I do is I look at the screen.
Yeah, we got 8 cameras.
8
We're
cameras, yeah.
covered.
you just sit there and look
Oh,
inside.
and Donovan says Ford does the same thing for the Bronco. There's certain versions of the new Bronco that you can remove all the doors.
Okay, yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah,
I've seen all sorts of modified Broncos. They're very, very funky looking.
What do you think, Earl? Do you think we should remove the doors on the Tesla?
Well,
I don't think so.
No.
Just
Hey.
be careful of Chrysler products.
Rick can put in a
John. You
roller
forget
bar.
John's
Oh,
on
well
the
said, Jonathan. Yeah,
John.
you better be careful if you be buying any Chrysler products. You might have a collector's item.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for calling,
John.
Stay tuned for that mystery shopping report, John. Our number here is 877-960-9960. That's 877-960-9960. We're going to go to Roger. He's calling us from Green Acres. Good morning, Roger.
Hey, good morning. How are you today?
We're well, thank you.
Listen, I have a question for Rick.
Okay, he's right here and he's ready.
I own a 2017 Nissan Quest. A couple of years ago, my wife and I decided to buy a camper. So I installed a trailer hitch. And when I measured everything up, the bumper and everything was 11 to 12 inches off the ground, which is fine. Once I started driving with the trailer, it seems to drop down to about 5 or 6 inches. So I want to know what I should focus on to get that 5 or 6 inches back up. And I've been to quite a few different mechanics in Palm Beach County, and none of them seem to know what to do.
Basically, you'd be looking at needing some airbags or helper springs in the back to bring the back end up to get your suspension stiffer in the back.
Shock absorbers?
Well, it's not really shock absorbers. It's you're wanting to
like a
increase
lift
the
back.
springs in the back. They have airbags that can be installed that keep the vehicle from sinking as low.
Yeah, the newer trucks, they come with a that suspension where you can actually, it's a hydraulic
Yep.
that raises that.
The place I would talk to myself, I think it's Rayside Truck and Trailer on Military Trail. Used to be the real go-to. I know Truck and Trailer Unlimited out off of Southern. They've gone out of business. But the last one I knew of was Rayside. I would stop in and talk with them and see what they can tell you about it, because they're probably one of the last good experts on modifying your vehicle to handle the heavier tongue weight on that trailer.
Okay. I know where Rayside is, so I can just drive right over there and talk to them.
Yeah, that'd be my go-to on it.
And of course, online, if you phrase it and go to Google and phrase it the way you did when you made the call, you might find that there are a lot of people that have a similar problem. In fact, it's likely that you will find that we should have done that while we were talking to you, because it is a difficult problem. Rick, you can work on that later, and we might be able to come up with an answer for you. You might want to check. If we find an answer for you later, as we Google around, you could check the podcast on the show later instead of having to sit here and wait to see if we figured it out.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for the call. That was a challenge, and we will get the great minds that work on that, and we'll get a solution for you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Great hearing from you,
I've been
Roger.
thinking-
911 emergency. How may I help?
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you. Hey, guys, that Zoom call that we had earlier, guess where that was from?
New Zealand.
London.
London. I
And
recognize
it
the
is-
West End's accent.
I couldn't hear the audio part of it. Thanks for that information, Jonathan. And it is 1:45 p.m. in London.
Yeah.
Via Jonathan.
And the people aren't wearing their shirts right now.
Well, that kid wasn't. That kid wasn't.
Has anyone paid any attention to CarShield? I know everyone has seen their commercials. They've been airing forever, but recently there's not much on any venue that you can see from CarShield, and the reason for that, they've been ordered to pay $10 million. It's a federal settlement over deceptive.
We have, I'm somebody saying hello in my,
There's a little voice.
Yes, we have a Zoom caller that is.
Oh, they can just come in and start talking?
Well, I gotta shut their sound off. So continue.
Continue, Miss Nancy. We'll get to the doom scholar when you're done.
Okay. I was speaking about Car Shield and that they were ordered to pay $10 million federal settlement over deceptive repair coverage ads. Boy, oh boy.
Well, they're shameful, but that makes me feel good that something happened there.
Yeah, something somewhat significant happened. I don't think $10 million is going to make or break them one way or another. We have no more calls. Who's up?
Oh, we got the guy on Zoom. Right?
Oh, is that what that was? I'm only right now on my camera seeing the card that
Oh, okay.
Rick was holding up.
You got a
That's how
delay.
much of a delay I'm on.
Oh boy, I got a nice anonymous feedback that we can get to. A few that came in recently. Your comment about car salespersons not wanting to ask the customer if they are Costco members because they'll earn less commission due to a lower price is BS. The commission is the same. The dealership is reimbursed for that money. Allow me to take this.
Please.
No, that is BS. No. First of all, the dealership isn't reimbursed anything from Costco or anybody to pay a commission. And at most dealerships, not our dealership, we don't do it this way. Most dealerships pay their salespeople a % of the profit. So that means if you sell a car at a Costco approved price, the profit is much, much lower, and the percentage for the salesperson is less. Okay, there's some guy talking in here.
Well, we have a Zoom caller that is making noises.
Okay, he
And,
shouldn't be. He should be in the lobby. Anyway, but no, it's also true that some dealerships will pay what they call a flat commission that is irrespective of the percentage, and they might do that. So it's possible a dealership might say, on a Costco deal, we'll pay you a flat whatever it is.
Yeah, well, this anonymous feedback is reacting to the fact that I say that when people go into car dealerships and they're Costco members,
Right.
if they go in without going through the process
Right.
that Costco recommends, and you walk up to a car salesman,
A regular salesperson.
and you ask them, I'm a Costco member, will I get the Costco price? The salesperson could be lying to you and say, yes, you will get the Costco price.
Right.
But his manager doesn't know anything about this, or maybe the manager's in cahoots. Maybe the dealer doesn't know about it, but I can tell you, Costco doesn't know about it. So the point is, until you go through the process with Costco and you look at your price sheet that Costco has worked out in cooperation with the dealer and compare it with the price that you were quoted, the car salesman could be telling you anything. Now,
Right.
this anonymous feedback that came from a car salesman, maybe in your dealership, I'm guessing it came from a car salesman, maybe in your dealership, they are doing things right, and you do get the same commission because they automatically do this honestly when they say, I'm a Costco customer. I guarantee you, you walk into any car dealership in South Florida, the chances are 90% if you say you are a Costco member, you will not get the Costco price because you will not go through the process to verify the price with Costco.
And that's the whole point.
That's the whole point, yeah.
Another one, this is for Rick. Hi, is it okay to leave the fan and AC on when you turn off the car? This way it will turn on when you turn the car on. If this is not okay, what type of damage would you do?
For any car built in the last 10 years, it's totally fine. Older cars, when you left them on, it could put a little bit of an extra drag on the electrical system when you're trying to start it up.
Yeah.
But newer cars, when you start the car, it keeps them off for a second or two and then brings them in slowly. So
Yeah, you notice that when you turn it
no
on.
damage whatsoever.
Right.
Totally fine to leave those on.
Yeah, don't turn anything off. Leave everything on. Nancy?
Okay. We are going to go to John. He's calling us from West Palm Beach. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Just a couple things. One of the new on the update, I don't know if it's new or not, but I found out last night on the Teslas that when you drive by the charging stations, like for instance at the outlet malls, in the Tesla, your mirrors automatically fold so that you can pull in.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, at
And
the
so,
at superchargers?
Amazing.
yeah, the superchargers. So when you pull up, they automatically fold, because it happened to me last time, and I was driving past them to pick up my wife, and my mirrors folded, and I said, I didn't do that.
What speed were you going? How fast were you going?
Just 5 miles an hour
Oh, okay.
in the parking.
Okay, in the parking.
So what happened was, so I tested it, and I drove around and went 2 lanes over. They unfolded. So they unfolded, so I went past the chargers again, and they folded back up again. So it's a new feature that they put in.
Cool.
Yeah. And the other one was, I was Denise from DeQuesta. She had that warranty information about the $1,800. I was calling in. I didn't know what your answer was, but I went ahead and I purchased that warranty.
You did the right thing.
Now, if anything, and they fix it. And the third thing is, one Model 3 to sell. All right. Well, we're on our way to Tampa.
Well, have a good trip. Drive safe. Sounds like you're going through a dead zone. Maybe try call back in a little bit.
Yeah, it was great hearing from you, John. Thanks
Yeah.
for all the information. I wonder if Donovan has that information
Probably
about the
does,
mirrors.
yeah.
I guarantee.
Yeah. Mirrors are big with us because when we come into the garage, automatically, that's what we alert the Tesla to do for safety reasons. I think that Earl is better at it than I am. I'm determined to prove that you can get into the garage without any harm to the Tesla. There's plenty of room, but it's something that we're supposed to do.
Donovan says that feature came in a few months ago in an over-the-air update.
Is that right?
So, yep.
Interesting.
That's
So tell me again when it's supposed to automatically go down when you're.
You go to a supercharger station. So you pull in and it folds in, so it makes it easier to get close to the charger.
Yeah.
But he was just driving past it, and his things went just folded in.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we've never been to a charging station because we use a garage. But,
That's right. Yeah, you don't need to. You should go. I mean, I don't know. They're probably all over the place, but I went to the one.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
But there's a Wawa. Well, actually, you know what? There's one on Blue Heron that has the chargers.
Yeah, it shows you anytime you get low on charge, it pops up on the map and shows you the nearest supercharger.
Right, and if you're not paying attention, it'll just take you there without asking you.
Yeah.
You're going to love this one, Earl.
Okay.
Donovan says there's an update coming in a few weeks for Teslas that will tell you when your tires are worn.
Oh, wow.
It uses the electric motors to detect the difference in distance
Rotation.
traveled per wheel to calculate the wear pattern on the tires.
Boy, that's great.
Well, I'm not sure I want to know that.
That's great. Rick, I want to tell you something. That hits home. I'm driving the Tesla, and on the screen, it tells me, now I'm en route, I'm on the road, and it says, you're dangerously low on air on all 4 tires.
Scary.
Pull over.
Pull over at the nearest air pump. Fill
There you
them up.
go. And of course, what did we do? We kept going. Okay, we, according to Jonathan, have a Zoom caller.
Okay.
Is that an accurate statement, Jonathan?
Well, he's muted and his video is not on, so
No. Is that what is his name?
his name is Sheed Misar, and I don't know where he's from.
Masar?
Hang on 1 second here.
Maybe we have another call from London.
No, I don't know, but continue on, and I'll let you know when he's back on.
Okay.
Okay.
We should have a rule though. You have to be fully clothed when you call into the
Yeah,
show.
what the heck? We don't care.
Okay, we're lucky on that one. We got very lucky there.
Okay, guys, we got some dead air here. What are we going to do with it?
Oh, I got plenty of all sorts of stuff. Someone's singing
There he
in the
is.
background.
I hear someone.
Yeah.
We hear you.
Okay, we
Welcome.
got porn on the screen. Porn on the screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this off.
Get rid of this guy. We're
I say we shut down the Zoom until we can figure out.
This is something we haven't anticipated is perverts.
Oh boy.
That way it's Earl Stewart on cars and perversion.
Yeah, I say let's just keep this thing under control.
Yeah,
I'm glad that popped up on
let's keep
Earl's
this
screen.
guy
I
off
didn't
the
have to see
screen,
it.
Jonathan.
No, it's not going over YouTube. I'm trying to.
Hey, you know, I want to know if Adam's still watching us out there from London.
They probably know each other.
Send us a text, Adam. Okay, Jonathan, what do we do with our
That's-
mysterious?
Let's just
Yeah, I
the
got
show. The show will continue.
Yeah. All right. So we got one anonymous feedback here. Hello. This is for Earl. Hello. Are you against all dealer fees or just big ones? No. That's kind of the question. Are you against all dealer fees or just the very high amount that's being charged in Florida? Some states have a law setting the max on the dealer fee. Example is a $300, $400 max. You know, where some states have a max, and some dealers, even in Florida, charge a very small dealer fee.
We're not. See, this is a confusion that people try to use. Car dealers try to use about what do you got against me? If I have a reasonable dealer fee, I need to make a profit. Why should you tell me how much I can charge for a dealer fee? I don't care if you charge a dealer fee, to answer the question. I don't care what size your dealer fee is, but your dealer fee is part of the price of the car. Put your damn dealer fee in the advertised price and the out-the-door price. If you want to have something you call orange juice or a dock fee or a delivery fee or come up with any other name, a junk fee, and you call it a dealer fee, go ahead, put it on your paperwork. But when you put your ad online and you put your ad on television or the radio or wherever you advertise, I want that price to be the price that I can write you out a check for and take the car. I don't want to have an advertised price where then you pop in something called a dealer fee for an extra $500, $100, or $1,000. It's the deception, not the fact that you have a dealer fee. You can have dock fees, electronic filing fees, administrative fees, call it anything you want to. Put it in your advertised price, and don't trick me into coming in and putting it in later after I've already signed on the dotted line and you got me in the F&I office. So
That's what they used to say about you. They say Earl hides his dealer fee in the price, and we didn't like that. But in a way, it was true. We didn't hide anything, but what we were saying was like, yeah, the price you see out there
You're
includes
supposed to
everything.
put all your expenses.
Right.
If you're selling a product, the product you buy the product, and then you might have to have a commission for someone that has to sell the product for you, and then you have a light bill and you have a phone bill. You might have a lease payment on your building, and all these are expenses.
And you want some stuff,
take
and
these
you want some
expenses
left over for
and
yourself.
you put it on top of what you paid for the product, and that's called the ultimate out-the-door price, and that's what you advertise. That's all we're saying. Advertise the price that you'll sell your product for.
It's mainly with cars, but don't you just hate that? Even when you see it in other things, you know, you want to rent a car, buy a plane ticket, all these things. You get excited, and it's not when you get there. It's oh wait, there's this fee, the activation fee, the
the resorts and hotels are going crazy. I mean, it's absolutely. Do you remember when they were charging for Wi-Fi?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I there was some hotel somewhere.
So much still recently they have seen that.
Yeah, they put their expenses on top of their advertised price. You know, airlines do it, hotels do it, rental car companies do it, but car dealers are the king. Car dealers invented the junk fee, and they really, really pile it on.
Shamelessly. Okay.
Hey, you guys out there that are on Zoom, gosh.
Clean it up.
Let me tell you, this was supposed to be a good thing. And I know you guys can hear me out there, but we're not looking for anything but some hello and me saying, you just won yourself $100. We're not looking for anything pornographic. So let's move on.
I don't think they
and
care.
Let's educate ourselves on Earl on cars.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a good anonymous feedback. Good morning. If you bought or opened another dealership, would it be Toyota, or would you be willing to go with a different manufacturer?
I would be careful. I'd be a lot more careful today than I would have been 10 years ago. What the franchise, Honda's strong, Tesla, of course they don't have dealers, and a few other franchises I would consider. But it's a great question because just like I warn the people out there now that are listening, what car you buy, car dealers are thinking twice before there's this huge
Uncertainty.
surge of buying dealerships. And a lot of these people that went out and bought 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 dealerships are starting to wonder some of these dealerships are not going to survive because the manufacturers won't survive. But I would be very careful before, if I were to buy a Honda or another Toyota dealership, what else would we buy, Stu? I mean, what would
Yeah, I'd feel better about another Toyota dealership.
You want Palm Beach Lexus.
a Lexus dealership? That's
Absolutely.
Toyota. That's Toyota. So you want somebody that was very strong financially, and it's going to be a different landscape in 10 years. You're going to be amazed at people that are not around today.
Yeah.
That are.
I mean, there's obvious ones, but then there's not obvious ones. It'd be very, very careful.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to go back to the phones.
right.
We're going to talk to Bob. He's calling us from Lake Worth. And Marty, hang on. We'll be right with you. Good morning, Bob.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. How's everyone this morning? I had a 1982 Recaro Trans Am, and I just heard that Recaro is going bankrupt, which is very disappointing. They make great sports seats.
Oh, wow.
A lot of the manufacturers use them. And I'd also like to know, what is your thought on what's going to happen with the Twin City Mall? Thank you.
At the Twin City, they're doing a big residential project there, multi-story like condos.
Hey, Twin City Mall is the old name, and now
Yeah, you're going way back. Nobody calls it the Twin City Mall anymore, but I remember that was my mall when I was a kid. And it's now there's a Public, there's Plaza there, there's
That was
some
the only
restaurants.
place to get caramel corn.
Oh yeah, you walk in there, and can I reminisce for a second? You smell the caramel corn, the orange bowl pizza,
And the Orange Julius.
and orange
Well, his
Julius.
question is what's going to happen now, and
Big residential.
there's a massive development going in. There are going to be apartments, there are going to be shops,
Yeah,
there will be
retail, restaurant.
there'll be a massive building thing.
Yeah.
And I think John Staluppi is
He owns
is
the property
involved
there. Yeah.
is involved in that project there. But it's going to be a huge a positive economic impact for that whole area in Lake
Yeah.
Park and North
Yeah.
Palm Beach.
Do you think it's appropriate what they're proposing for that area there? I don't think the infrastructure can handle it.
Well, that's the age-old question.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the numbers. I'm not involved in it in any way.
All we've seen is the median expansion, which I mean, to your point, that's going to create congestion, just the construction of it, but also they're eliminating I don't know if you're familiar with the area. It's just there is no median south on US 1 south of North Lake Boulevard, so you can freely cross. They're going to kind of restrict that, so it's going to make things interesting. And I would hope that they're going to do something on North Lake to accommodate it. And also the bridge that went out, which is under DOT, has it partially fixed, is narrow and hasn't been completed. So I think you might be anticipating a little bit of a cluster fluff in the coming months.
Yeah.
What do you think about Recaro going bankrupt?
I don't know much about it.
Seats.
They make seats for sports cars. I had a 1982 Recaro Trans Am, which is a Pontiac product.
Uh-huh.
I had it for 15 years before it got stolen, but they were great seats.
Well, that wasn't the Smokey and the Bandit car, was it?
No, this is 82.
82.
Smokey and the Bandit was in the 70s.
Yeah.
76, 77.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those in the Pontiac dealership showroom with the bird decal on the front.
That big old Thunder Chicken on the hood.
Thunder Chicken. It was such an exciting car for a kid.
Yeah, we delivered one of those black Trans Ams to Burt Reynolds' father, and he bought that car for his dad, who lives locally.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought what they're proposing over there was a little bit out of character for the area.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I just it's amazing. I keep moving north. I started out in Palm Beach County.
You started in Fort Lauderdale.
I keep moving north. I'll probably be up in Hope Sound or Stewart before much longer. But you're right. The population growth is insane. But that comes with the territory.
And up the road a little bit, not to bore the non-locals who might be listening, but up there by PJ Boulevard and where they're doing there's a bunch of construction, new housing, those Ritz-Carlton, but they're big towers that are putting up there, and the roads right there, they can't handle it with the bridge right there. It is it's a big traffic snarl multiple times a day. So I hope they're doing something. I hope the powers that be.
The Twin City Mall, that used to be a driving range back in the 50s.
Where
the Twin City Mall was.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. I was here in the 50s, but I didn't get it. In the 50s, I lived back in West Palm Beach, so I didn't get up there. But you're an old timer like I am. You've been around a long time. I did my 20-mile hike from when I was a Boy Scout from downtown West Palm Beach to Jupiter. And when I got to North Palm Beach, there was only one building, and that was an estate of somebody that had a lot of money, which is now the North Palm Beach Country Club. But outside of that, it was all woods, and that's where I hiked back in.
Well, you've been able to see how things have evolved here, then, huh? Yeah.
All right, Bob, we got to get back to cars now. So listen, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the update, Bob.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to go to Marty, and he has been holding. Thank you, Marty. Good morning.
Good morning. I've got a question for, I guess, Earl and/or Stu. With this new pricing policy that's supposed to take place September 1st, is the dealership still can add in all their junk fees and electronic fees and everything as long as they tell you up front that that's the price?
Well, they have to include it in the price, Marty, and it remains to be seen whether they will going to comply. But you're right. September 1st is when Ashley Moody has said, there's going to be a new sheriff in town, and it's going to be me, and I'm going to enforce the rules of this 20-year-old law, which has been on the books all this time, and they just ignored it. So Ashley Moody will be enforcing it. But, the dealer fee, the junk fees, and all the rest of this stuff, dealer install accessories, and all the other garbage that we talk about on the show, that'll disappear because there'll be no point in it. There's only one reason for junk fees and dealer install accessories, and that is to deceive your potential customer when they come in on the advertisement. You see an online price for, I'll make a round number, for $40,000 for this new car. And you end up paying $45,000 for the new car. Why? Because they add the junk fees, they add the dealer-installed accessories, and the advertised price is not the price you pay. So, by definition, nothing in the law says you can't have junk fees and you can't have dealer install accessories. You can put a charge on there for your membership in the country club and for your ski chalet in Vail, Colorado. You can put all these prices anywhere you want as long as it is in the advertised price. But they're not going to be doing that because it would inflate the advertised price, and hopefully on September 1st, when you see a price on an advertisement from a car dealer, it'll be the price you can buy the car for.
Okay, I got one more question for you or Stu.
Okay.
On a leased vehicle, right now they say, oh, you can lease this car for $399 a month,
Right.
and then in the small print they got $6,000 down.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't they? If I was running the show, I'd say the 6,000 should be divided by 36, and the real price should be put up. That it's a $560 lease price. Does that law include that?
That will include that. The equivalent on a lease price is the capitalized cost, and the capitalized cost should have all the costs in there. When you sell a car, it's just the advertised price, and a lease is the capitalized cost. And the law going into effect September 1st should affect both leasing and purchasing. So here's what's going to happen. I mean, that's what's supposed to happen, Marty. But what's going to happen is only the most egregious, crazy advertisers will go down, at least for the first year or two. You'll see the Hollywood Toyotas, you'll see the Napleton dealerships, you'll see the dealerships in South Florida that are just absolutely flaunting the law. You'll see them going after first, but the medium people that get away with the medium stuff, it'll take a while before they get to them. But we're going to be shopping like crazy on September 1st. We're going to hit every dealership we possibly can in South Florida, and we know the ones. And we're going to go and we're going to send those shopping reports directly to Ashley Moody. We'll see how serious she was, but I believe she is serious. And Ted Smith, the president of the Florida Automobile Dealers Association, has assured me, and we're friends. I mean, we're friends and we're enemies. He doesn't like what I say about car dealers, but he knows that I'm an honest person, and I know he's an honest person. So he's endorsed this. He thinks Ashley Moody will enforce this.
Now, does this, Earl, does this affect the national ads, like the Toyota national ads that are on TV, are the same thing?
Yeah, they are.
Got in a small print how much down?
That's right. That's a great question. Technically, she should be going after the manufacturers also. I think from a practical standpoint, she won't. But I think that the Federal Trade Commission, we're talking about, we're not talking about the CARS Act now, which is also a very important thing that's going on. We're focusing on the Ashley Moody commitment on September the 1st. But the Combat Auto Retail Scams, CARS, the Federal Trade Commission regulation, which is hung up now, frozen in the circuit court in Texas because of the lawsuit by the National Automobile Dealers Association. This thing is going to bust open pretty quick. This thing is going to happen. Smarter people than I am are saying that this regulation is going to go into effect. And the car dealers and the National Automobile Dealers Association know that this will happen. So when that happens, the manufacturers are going to have to abide by it. I mean, I think the manufacturers, deep in their hearts, want honesty in advertising, both for themselves and for their dealers. And I think they'll jump on that. It'll be easier to get the national advertiser to go honest once the car dealers go honest. So maybe that's wishful thinking, but that's my opinion.
All right. I just want to tell Rick, I went out in the garage and looked at my wife's 21 CRV, and the tires are all, say, 40/20. So I'm good for another couple years.
Good for you.
So what that actually means is the 40th week of 2020. So they were almost they were pretty much the end of November is when they were produced.
Yeah.
Or wait, I beg your pardon. No, 12 weeks before, so about September. About September was when they were produced.
Yeah, I'm sure the tread will wear out before 26.
Very likely. It's very likely. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Marty. I was just thinking, after what Marty said, I'd love to find somebody check their tires. We know the code, the way you do it now. I wonder how old a tire is on a car right now. Technically, somebody could be driving with a tire that was 20 years old, right?
If the tire was stored properly, you could be driving on a 30-year-old tire and it still be a good, safe tire.
There's no law against selling a 30-year-old tire.
No.
Can you believe that, folks?
Well, and like I say, if it was stored properly, say you had a warehouse, cool, dry warehouse.
Put it in the refrigerator.
Properly stored,
I
that
keep
tire
my
could
tires
last a
in my
long time.
refrigerator.
Yeah. Well, especially if you get certain cars that have an oddball size, those sizes don't get sold often, so there's not a lot of inventory turnover.
Yeah. It's something. It's a hidden fact from the consumer that shouldn't be that way. I wouldn't be at all surprised when you go into a tire seller if even the seller knows what the age of the tires are. The person that bought the tires, put them on the shelf, and who knows how long it sat on the shelf.
Exactly. And they're looking to push the tires. We're going to get to Andy, who's calling us from Fort Lauderdale, because I see by the clock that we have to start speeding things up if we're going to get to everything that we want to cover. Andy, good morning.
Yeah, how you doing?
Great.
I called you last week. I was buying a SL55 from Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember me. I want to ask you, do you know about SL55s? They were only made from 03 to 08. And then they came back in 22.
Oh.
But the reason I've been looking for this for a year, but they're all like in the 20s, 20,000 for 03s. I got an 07. But here's what happened with the deal. When I called them, I asked them about the ABC, because I have another Mercedes, and the ABC went on it.
Mm-hmm.
So he said ABC was good and everything. Then he went out to the car, and he came back to me, and he said, the roof, it has a hardtop convertible. And he said, it's not working now. And it was there for 60 days, and it's worked every day. So he said, I'm going to send it to the Mercedes and see what's going to be. And he came back to me like a week later, and he said he's going to sell the car as is because it probably cost a fortune to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted he wanted 14.9, and I said, I have cash money. What will you do for me? You know how much you wouldn't believe this price.
What?
$9,500.
Oh, jeez.
And I got it's getting shipped right now for $300. So, and I'm a gambler. I'm a gambler. I own racehorses, so I'm not worried about the roof. It's 110 degrees here. I never put the roof down on my other one. But what would it cost to fix that?
Without knowing what the problem is, that could be anywhere from $500 to $5,000.
Yeah, that's why I think I got it cheap like that.
Yeah, I would check. There's a place on US 1 called Prestige Auto.
I know it.
Yeah,
Fort Lauderdale.
I just know that place because they are fully loaded with high-end luxury cars all the time. And there's no way a shop can be that busy with that many cars if they're not doing something right. Otherwise, I'd check around for, look in your local forum groups and find who they recommend for Mercedes guys to check that out and find out what's going on with that roof.
I really don't care because I'm getting older and it's so hot here. I never put the roof down.
Yeah.
I have my other Mercedes for 7 years. I put it down twice.
Yeah.
You understand? I just, it's, you get a sunburn, you get sick there. So
Where?
it's like so cheap. You got to look at the SL55s, and you can't see. I read something. You know how many of these cars were sent to the United States in '07?
No.
583.
Wow.
That's why I want the car.
Wow, I understand. Yeah, that'll probably be a better investment than the stock market. That car is going to
You're
do.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I know you. That's why I buy crazy cars.
Yeah.
I got a '72 convertible Stingray that I had for 30 years. I used to sell cars, but not really sell them. I would give the dealers my money, and then they would rob me.
Hey, Andy,
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting, what you said about not putting your roof down. Does the same thing apply to did you say you had a Stinger?
72 Stingray.
Yeah, but
The Stingray?
A 72.
Yeah, and you don't put the roof down on that vehicle?
I'm telling you one thing. It has no air conditioning, so I don't even drive it. It has 54,000 miles. I might be selling it this week. I don't know. I'm getting old, and I have no one to leave it to because nobody loves me in my family.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, we got something in
I
common.
have two nephews. That think they're going to get all my money. They're dreaming.
I think that's a universal problem.
Yeah, I like you, Andy. You're my kind of guy.
I have no wife, but I got lucky because I got married when I was 18, and at 25, my father retired. He was 62, and I came down here and I bought real estate in Las Olas, and I made a lot of money for an idiot. And,
Well, you're a happy guy. I could just tell by the tone of your voice. You're a happy
I'm
man.
real happy.
So you're a
I am.
success. You're a success.
I know. I didn't work since 25.
Interesting. Hey, do you take your dog with you, Andy?
I had a poodle that just died on me, and I'm sick after 17 years.
Oh, I'm so
A
sorry.
black and white mini, a little toy, 9 pounds.
Oh, that's what I used to have.
I'm going to get you another dog from Big Dog Ranch Rescue. You let me know what kind of dog you like, and I'll put in a special request for you.
I still have the dog. I sent the dog to California, and it got freeze-dried. It cost.
Is that right? I'll be darned.
Wow.
And it's in my house, the dog. And when I drop dead, I'm going to put it in the casket with me. And my mother and father.
How sweet.
And my mother.
Well,
No, it's
Andy,
just that
we're going to have to wrap it up. We're getting close to
We got to go.
our
You're
big
real.
dog.
Call us back, Andy. Call us back next week.
I will.
We love you.
When the car comes, I'll tell you all about it. 'Cause
Okay.
It's going to be here Monday.
I can't wait. Thanks, Andy.
Okay.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank
Give us a
you.
call again. We love your call. Okay, folks. Well, Earl, did you want to mention, say one more thing before we get to the Big Dog Ranch video?
I've got to tell you, I got some more good news about cleaning out Dodge in South Florida. And I had a call from Jeff Weinseer. He is the investigative reporter for WPLG, that's Channel 10 in Fort Lauderdale. They're one of the most popular TV stations. So Jeff Weinseer called me about the fact that the department, actually of Attorney General's office of Florida, has nailed the Gunther Volkswagen Group for their charging over the lease purchase option prices, which we talked about on this show for a long time and warned people. Jeff Weinseer, I believe, proceeded as results of some of the things we exposed on the show. So now the entire Gunther group, thanks to Channel 10, WPLG in South Florida, and Jeff Weinseer, specifically, the investigative reporter. So we've got Gunther Volkswagen, Kia, we got about a dozen Gunther dealerships down here. He's got a lot of franchises all over South Florida, and he was fined $600,000, which is a slap on the wrist, I know, but it's still embarrassing. And I have the paperwork here from the Office of the Attorney General, State of Florida, in my hand. This will be, he will have to from now on, if you go into a Gunther dealership in South Florida and you have a lease and you want to exercise your option, he cannot add all the crap that he was adding to these leases, like delivery fees and inspection fees and thousands of dollars in some cases on top of the purchase option price. So I want to thank Jeff Weinstein. It's a gutsy thing for him to do. Needless to say that Channel 10 is being boycotted by a lot of car dealers now in South Florida. Advertising is the lifeblood of television and the media. It's just you have to have advertisers, and now the car dealers, the entire Gunther organization and the Volkswagen manufacturer is boycotting WPLG, Channel 10 in Miami on advertising. So you see the capitalist system there, folks. The capitalist system, they got power too. That by pushing the media not to expose their skullduggery, they can get hurt and by losing their advertisers. So there's a war being fought in South Florida right now. I'm rooting for Jeff Weinstein and Channel 10 WPLG. Congratulations on exposing this.
Absolutely. Boy, what a great story. And we're going to get this done, folks. We're definitely going to get this done. Okay, we are going to go to our video, and for Big Dog Ranch, that is, and we're going to talk about Hollywood. That's our dog of the week, Hollywood. And he comes to Big Dog Ranch because he was just wandering the streets. And he found a home with Big Dog Ranch, and they have treated him marvelously. And he is about 8 years old, I believe, and he's a Shepherd German. And we pay the adoption fees, folks, and it can be pretty expensive to adopt a dog. And they have a great program out there for everyone. So, Jonathan, would you roll the video for Hollywood?
I'm Paula at Big Dog Ranch Rescue. This is Hollywood. He's a 7-year-old. He's been here a long time. He's a gentleman. He's my favorite dog here. He does sit, does paw.
Oh, look at that.
He came in with mange so bad he didn't have a hair on his body, but now he's all better.
Oh.
He's the perfect dog, and I love him.
We are big supporters of Big Dog Ranch Rescue, and they are the largest no-kill.
Oh.
Thousands of dogs, and they keep them until they find a loving home.
When you adopt our sponsored dog through us, we take care of the adoption fees. There's a lot of expenses that goes into getting the dogs ready for adopting and housing them, some indefinitely. And you get charged just a few $100s based on the breed, the age of the dog, and how long they've been at the ranch. But we take care of that for you. And you get a dog that's ready to go with all its shots, neutered, spayed, bathed, cleaned. And we highlight these dogs, but we also hope that it just kind of brings exposure to Big Dog Ranch Rescue in general.
So if you're thinking about a dog, Big Dog Ranch Rescue in Waxahachie, Florida, that's www.bdrr, as in Big Dog Ranch Rescue.org.
Also, folks, Earl has a book, Confessions of a Recovering Car Dealer. This just gets better and better. If you purchase that book, all proceeds go to Big Dog Ranch. All proceeds go for the purchase of that book, Confessions of a Recovering Car Dealer, go to Big Dog Ranch. They have so many great things out there at Big Dog Ranch. I'm speaking about programs and also the way they treat their dogs out there and everything that they subject the dogs to. It could be anything, from seeing, a veterinarian. It could be anything from, going out to the pool. They just have an assortment of entertainment for the dogs, and they know how to treat them until you go out to Big Dog Ranch and decide to adopt a dog. And you can go to bigdogranch.org and you can fill out an application for a background check. And because they just don't give dogs to anybody, they want to know that this dog is going to a good home. So take advantage of all that. Big Dog Ranch Rescue, a great place to visit. Okay, Earl, we're going to go to the mystery shop if you're ready.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, please vote on this mystery shop. It's real important to us. And you can do that at 772-497-6530. And we mystery shopped CarMax in Boynton Beach.
You know, we talk a lot about South Florida being the Sodom and Gomorrah, so I think we do CarMax a disservice because we also look at CarMax, which is a national used car outlet, and they're publicly traded over on the New York Stock Exchange. They're a class act within the automotive retail community. So every car dealership in South Florida, I think sometimes we overdo it because most of them are really rough places to have to buy a car. I don't want to give away anything here, but we go back to the good dealers and the bad dealers because you never know. One little change in management can change the way a car dealer sells cars. So we're at CarMax in Boynton Beach. I'll be speaking in the first person as if I were our ace undercover agent, Agent Lightning. And I will read this report that was put together by my son Stu and Agent Lightning. I was greeted as soon as I walked in by two salesmen who were very friendly. Mike introduced himself and asked, "What brings you in today?" I showed him a picture of an advertisement I saved on my phone of a 2019 Toyota Highlander Platinum. 2019 Toyota Highlander Platinum. The ad indicated it had a recent $3,000 price drop, and that'll get your attention, right? One nice thing about CarMax, when they say they have a price drop, it is a price drop. They're advertising from all of our experience in our mystery shops over the years. They are ethical, honest people, and if they say they discount something, they do. The car I'm looking for, I asked if it was in this location. Now, CarMax is all over the country, so that's another advantage. The nice thing about that is if you're looking for a model that might not be on a particular CarMax lot, they have the wherewithal to be able to trade for that car from another CarMax location. And of course, transportation fees would be a factor they'd have to take into consideration. But this car, this Toyota Highlander Platinum 2019, happened to be at this location, and usually they are. The local advertiser, they would be at that location. He said it was at this location, and he said, "Let's take a walk outside to see it before the storm comes in. We're having some stormy weather here in South Florida." I agreed, said, "Yes, of course. Can you grab the keys?" He smiled, said, "I have them in my pocket." I must have looked a little bit confused, so he explained, "I have a master key to the boxes on all our cars, which hold each vehicle's keys." Now, this might sound like a little thing, but if you're a regular listener to the show and you hear about sometimes we're looking for a particular car, you can't find the car, you can't find the keys. CarMax is a very professional, efficient organization, and they value the customer's time, and this is one way they do it. They don't have to look for the keys. The keys are on every car, and they have another key, which is a master key that unlocks the lockbox, which is a pretty smart way to go about it. The Highlander was in very nice condition. We looked through it, and it started up. The air conditioning was cold, and the interior was very clean. The tires weren't horrible, but I asked, "Do the tires need to be replaced soon?" They look like they might. And that's something you always want to look at when you're buying a used car. Mike explained, "We go by the National Highway measurements. That's the National Highway Traffic Safety Association measurements for tires, and we double it." Now that's pretty conservative, and that's speaks well for CarMax. The National Highway Traffic Safety Association standard is 230 seconds, and that's pretty slick. And Rick would agree, 230 seconds. I don't think it should be that low, but that's what they say. That is the NHTSA standard. So they double that to 430 seconds. At our dealership, we draw the line at 330 seconds. So actually,
Not
CarMax.
quite. Our used cars all have to be minimum of 530 seconds. It's tires for life. We replaced them at 330 seconds.
Oh, okay. Very good. Thank you. 530 seconds. These tires are usually good for about 36,000 miles, so they're likely the original ones since it only has 25,000 miles on it. The weather turned, started to rain, so we hurried back inside, went to his computer, Mike's computer. We barely avoided getting drenched just as we got inside. Mike gathered all my information into the computer and pulled up the car. He mentioned, this looks like it was one of those, I don't care for this reference, neither will Nancy, old lady cars. I've used it, and as I look back on it, it's not a nice thing to say. It was bought and serviced here in Boynton Beach, but the fact of the matter is, older people, including myself and Nancy, we don't drive as many miles. And from a practical standpoint, if you're buying a used car, and you can find a used car that is 5 or 6 years old, it only has 12 or 14,000 miles on it, that's pretty damn good buy. So the fact is, people that are retired, they don't have to commute, they don't have to go to work and come home. And so we see a lot of cars, because we have an elderly population in South Florida, that only have, sometimes 2,000 or 3,000 miles a year, or maybe 5,000 or 6,000. I mean, the average driver puts about 15,000 miles a year on a car. So that's something, if you're shopping for a used car, you might think about. I mean, it's hard to put a value on a car that only has half the mileage that it normally would have had. That's a valuable attribute to a car to be looking for. Where am I here? Oh yeah, he then clicked on to the warranty page of CarMax's website and showed me their warranty program. He said, I don't push the warranty, but I just show the benefits of it. Since this vehicle is out of warranty period with Toyota. Now I like that. I don't push the warranty. It kind of goes with my philosophy at my dealership. I personally don't believe in extended warranties. If you can afford to do the repair or fix the car yourself, you're better off, because people that sell warranties make money, insurance companies make money, and you're subsidizing them if you don't actually need to have that backup in case you have a problem with the car. So this CarMax salesperson was quite honest about that. And but they have the warranty available. At my dealership, we have the warranty available, but I don't recommend it for myself. If it gives you peace of mind, and you read the warranty carefully, and you see what it does cover and what it does not cover, then so be it. If it makes you feel better, buy the warranty. Toyotas are very well-made cars, the salesman said, so it's totally up to you. If you bring it in there for work, we offer $50 off each level of deductible. Now, that's a good thing. And if more than one issue comes up, you're only charged one deductible, which is the way it should be. If you decide to have it serviced at a Toyota dealership, it's the deductible as shown. So they give you a little edge there, and they're trying to get your service business. That's another good thing. A lot of used car lots are not a place you want to take a car to get fixed. CarMax has a very good mechanical facility, and they do the repair the cars and maintain the cars that they sell you. He then went on to go over the pricing on the screen. The sale price was $34,998, same as online. Bingo. I mean, that's all we ask. We want the sale price to be what the advertised price is, and it was. They added, here's the negative. This is not a perfect, CarMax is not perfect, and they added a $599 CarMax processing fee. That fee has come up slowly over the years. We've shopped them before, so here we are, almost $600 for a junk fee. That's what it is. It's a dealer fee. And then $34 for an optional electronic filing fee. Again, I don't know why CarMax does that, but hey, we got $633 in junk fees on top of the advertised price. September 1st, by the way, Ashley Moody will say, and the Attorney General state of Florida will say, even CarMax have to take that extra $5.99 plus 34 and put it in the advertised price. That should happen on September 1st. And we'll be shopping CarMax and other car dealerships in South Florida to see if they are. And if they are not, that shopping report will go directly to Ashley Moody's desk, and we're going to help her clean up Dodge. Interestingly, they broke out the amount of the sales tax for both junk fees. I thought that was interesting too. It's less deception. You have to pay sales tax on a junk fee. That's the way when the dealer's trying to put one over on you and say this is a tax, you don't tax a tax. So if there's Florida sales tax was imputed on a particular item, it is a junk fee. It's not a real government fee. Mike offered, I could print this all out for you, and I accepted. Mike thanked me for coming in and said, let me know if you want to drive it, and I'll have it all ready for us to go. So there you have it. CarMax in Boynton Beach, Florida. That's South Florida. And it wasn't a perfect report. We grade on the curb. We'd like you to get your votes in to us via either text 772-497-6530, and we get most of our votes in on YouTube, youtube.com/Earl on Cars, and we grade on the curb. As I say, we try to go for the average dealer being a C, no matter whether that's a good or a bad dealer, and for the top dealer, if they are perfect, we give them an A. If they are so bad they ought to be in jail, we give them an F. So needless to say, we don't like to see a lot of A's or a lot of F's, and we grade in between. So we're looking at a B to a D, and a lot of C's is the way the curve is supposed to work. So if you get those grades in for us, we'll announce them on the air. Rick?
And we're looking so far. Here we go. We got some coming in now. Tim Gilliland says, well, that was weird. Excuse me. Well, that was weird. Treating prospective buyers with respect certainly isn't the norm. A-.
Very good.
Let's see. Andrew Plasinski says B+. Brenda Wise says B. Still some junk fees. Johnny Z. Fradley says B. The fee used to be $2.99. The little old lady from Pasadena drove her super stock Dodge pretty fast. That was the old Jan and Dean song from the 60s. Joseph Kelleher, C. Junk fees are the reason for the C grade. Brian Sedlatko says CarMax gets a B+. Tom Steckel says B+, no addendums, but still have the junk fees. Automania, I grade a B. T-Cash says C. Just give the pardon me, out the door price. And for me, I'm torn between the B+ or the A-. I'm going to the A-. I think even though they have the junk fee, it's clearly stated right there. They're not playing games.
No, I agree.
A-.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rick. I'm going to go ahead and vote, and I agree with Rick. Even though, I just feel I don't like fees at all. But this is a pretty good report, and for that, I'm going to give them a B+.
And a B+ and an A-.
Got a couple more if we can read them off real quick.
Okay.
Anne Marie says, by South Florida standards, I'd give them a B+. Respect is rare, but junk fees brought them down to the B+. And we have one other here. Bob in Maryland says, B for CarMax. I would have an A, but my wife is an old lady and made me go to a B.
I don't know. I'm vacillating. I'm gonna say B plus. I'd love to give them an A minus, but I think a B plus. One of the reasons I do the B plus instead of the A minus is because they're creeping up on their junk fees, and the motive of a junk fee is to deceive. We talked earlier about we had one caller, I think, that said, "Am I just against?" Speaking about me being against dealer fees and junk fees, and I say I'm not against the fees. I'm against the including them, not including them in the advertised price. So here's CarMax. They've got $600 and change that they add on to the price that they advertise, and I'd love to give you an A plus CarMax, but I'll give you a B minus. But you're still the best game in town, and anybody within the sound of my voice, if you buy a car at CarMax, you're probably going to do better than you can at just about any other location. You also, by the way, can sell your cars to CarMax. I don't want to do an advertisement for them now, but my dealership uses CarMax to sell cars sometimes. When we're trying to determine the market value of a trade-in or a used car, we'll call CarMax because they're pretty much on top of the market. Now, the caveat to that is if they have a lot of cars of the description that you're selling, they won't give you as much as if they don't have a lot of cars but would like to have that car. So, but they're always worth getting a quote from a CarMax store. Anywhere in the United States, you could get a quote. And the quote's good for, I think, 5 days or maybe a week. I can't remember exactly. So if you have a used car, even if you're trading in a used car, you're buying a car, it always helps to get an idea of what that car is truly worth. We call it the actual cash value, and that is CarMax is a great way to do it. And you can also do it at WeBuyAnyCar.com. We can also do it at Vroom. There's a number of sources out there. Carvana. All these places could give you a price on the car. Rick?
Automania is asking, can you negotiate the junk fee down with CarMax?
Okay. No, you can't, and that is the bad thing about a junk fee, is it's a they're calling it a cost, and they're not putting it in their advertised price. It's all a matter of deception. Oftentimes, the car salespeople. I'm not sure that this applies to CarMax, but at most car dealerships, the junk fees, the salespeople don't get paid on it. So if the management or the owner of of the dealership will say to the salespeople, you cannot remove this from the price of the car. You can lower the price of the car, but when they lower the price of the car, they're lowering their commission. They get 25% of the profit that they make on the car. So that's the reason they won't let them enhance their commission. It hurts their commission if they take it off the price of the car.
Right.
So that's that way you're not only screwing the customer, but you're screwing your salespeople too, because you're using the dealer fee. And I say the dealer is making all the money. CarMax is making all that money, the $4.99 plus the other thing. The electronic filing.
$34.
Yeah, $34. So it's petty larceny. Another dealership that I normally recommend highly is the largest Lexus dealership in the United States, and that is JM Lexus. JM is in Jim Moran, and they're the best place to buy a Lexus, even today. But they have a dealer fee. They have a junk fee. And they advertise, we don't have a dealer fee. And the dealer fee is only like $300. I mean, you're buying a Lexus, probably you're paying $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. So why do they have $300? I mean, if you're going to be clean, you're going to be honest, why do it? I say the same thing to CarMax. So here I am beaten up on two good dealerships, and I don't mean to be, because the rest of the dealerships are so rotten that I mean, if I lived in, I do live in South Florida. If I were buying a car, because I live in South Florida, I'd drive 200 miles north to buy a car. I'd go out of state to buy a car because of how bad South Florida is with the way they deceive car buyers. So there we are. And a week from Sunday, that's tomorrow, will be the beginning of Ashley Moody's enforcement of Florida's 20-year-old law. So when that happens, it's going to be really exciting. And
Yeah, I think it'll be not only exciting, but there'll be some clarity.
Yeah.
Because there's so much money to be made in this business, and we don't have to deceive the consumer. It just isn't necessary. And by the way, I was reading some of these states that have a cap on the fees that they charge, and they're as small as $30. And that's what they've been charging from the beginning of time, and it's never changed.
Oh.
So, like I said, there's room for some clarity here.
well, yeah, there's two wrongs when the dealers resort to this junk fee thing. The dealer that's doing it, and this is probably CarMax would be a good example, they feel like they have to do it because the other dealers are doing it so much worse, so they just do it somewhat. And CarMax probably would like not to have the dealer fee because I think when you're a nationally recognized company and you're traded on the New York Stock Exchange, I mean, you got a lot of exposure. You want to be ethical and honest. But when your competition forces you sometimes to get a little bit off the straight and narrow path, then it's like a cancer. It spreads. All the other dealerships in the market say, well, if the other dealers are able to get away with the junk fees, and I don't have a junk fee, I can't be advertising competitively because my advertised price will be higher than what the other dealers are forcing me to do. So,
It's complicated.
yeah, I'm a cockeyed optimist, and I believe that if we can just get a significant number, some number of car dealerships in South Florida to go the straight and the narrow, and maybe the threat by Ashley Moody is the only way this could happen. If we could get the maybe 20 or 25% of them to do it, then the other dealers that were afraid to do it will gradually fall suit, especially if Ashley Moody keeps the pressure on. So
Yeah.
a week from Sunday, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, good things are coming. And right here at Earl on Cars, there's going to be a whole lot of mystery shopping reports that are going to be done by Agent Lightning. And we are going to provide these mystery shopping reports we're going to give them all to Ashley Moody just so that she can see exactly what's going on. We're going to get upfront and personal.
Do we have time for one more?
We do.
I've got, for you folks that like Mazda, Mazda is a good car. It's a better car today than it's been for a long time. They've improved their technology. They really pushed the incentives when the COVID issue came over and the supply chain issue was cured, and they started getting some cars in. They started getting a lot of cars in, and to get rid of the cars, they put some very, very strong incentives on cars. So if you're in the market for a Mazda, I would suggest that you check with your Mazda dealer. They have some very, very strong incentives, thousands of dollars on certain models. And if you be sure that when you go to the Mazda website, the Mazda factory website, where you will see the incentives advertised. Because if you go to the Mazda dealership, you might not know that those incentives are available. But there's some good buys out there on Mazdas, and in fact, there's such good buys, and the incentives were so strong that Mazda had a little bit of a financial issue in the last quarter, and they're not making the money they thought they were going to make. So they'll be pulling these incentives off because they overdid it. But that's an opportunity for you if you're in the market for a Mazda. Check Consumer Reports, find a model that they recommend, and they do recommend quite a few Mazdas. And check with your Mazda, and do what you learned to do on this show to be sure you get the out the door price, and you could get a heck of a deal on a very good car.
Great information for everyone out there that's looking for a Mazda. Okay, folks, it's time for us to wrap it up, and we certainly enjoyed your company.